So there is a version of me I'm not proud of. A version of me that was, partying every night, numbing everything, falling deep into places I had no business being in. And here's the thing nobody tells you about. Because when you're in it, it doesn't feel like you're breaking. It honestly just feels like you're living. But God was about to show me something. And to be honest, He wasn't going to fix me around my mess. He was going to walk me through it. So this is why God had to bring me first. Let me take you back. I wasn't in no dramatic crisis. There were no headlines, no intervention, and to be honest, no obvious rock bottoms. Not yet. I was just living carelessly, partying, drinking, smoking. I was falling into sin ways that I'm not even gonna sugarcoat. And on the inside, depression was sitting on me heavy every single day. I wake up tired, not tired from sleep or not enough of it. I was just tired of being me. You see here, I knew something was off. I knew I wasn't living the way I was supposed to, but knowing and doing, I promise you, those two very different things. The real failure wasn't even the partying, even though, if I'm being honest, the real failure was giving up on myself. I stopped showing up for myself. I stopped working out. I stopped being disciplined. And I stopped holding myself to the standards I knew deep down that I was built for. And when you abandon yourself like that, everything starts to shift. Your confidence, your direction, even a sense of who you even are. I was walking around as a version of myself that I didn't even recognize. And to be honest, I didn't know how to find my way back. But God had a plan I couldn't even see yet. And to be honest, that started with something I wasn't expecting. Football wasn't just a sport to me. It was an identity. It was a purpose. It was a thing that I pointed to when somebody asked me who I was. And I'm gonna be honest, the field was one place where I felt like I had it all figured out. Like I was becoming someone, like the version of me I wanted to be was actually real. And then I stopped playing. And the moment hit me in a way I wasn't ready for. It wasn't just losing the sport, it was losing a piece of who I was. And that was a piece that I haven't figured out how to replace yet. The disappointment wasn't in just what I lost. It was in who I was becoming without it, or more honestly, who I wasn't becoming. Felt empty, and that emptiness, it definitely had a way of making everything else louder. The shame, that doubt, that feeling that you felt the version of yourself that actually mattered. See, I built so much of my identity on what I could do. My discipline, my athletic ability, what I could produce, and who I look like on the outside. God stripped it, not because He wanted to hurt me, but because He needed me to see what I was actually made of when there's nothing left to hide behind. That's the uncomfortable truth about breaking. It doesn't feel like refinement, it just feels like a loss. But sometimes God has to take away what you're leaning on, so you finally lean on Him. Here's where the story changes. In the middle of all of it, the emptiness, the failure, the nights where I felt like I had no morning coming, I started to feel something unexpected. Freedom. Not the kind that comes from getting everything you wanted, but the kind that comes from stopping the fight to hold it all together yourself. Joy. Real joy. Not the empty out version that I was chasing at these parties, but something deeper. Something that didn't even need anything from me. And in the middle of everything that I have done wrong, everything that I have lost, God, He was still reaching for me. And that hit me different because I expected judgment. I expected distance. I spent so long running in the wrong direction that I thought if there was a God, I used whatever grace I had. But that's not how it works. And I couldn't understand that for so long until I was broken enough to where I stopped pretending I had it all figured out. God doesn't break you to destroy you. He breaks you to rebuild yourself with something that the old version of you couldn't carry. The old version of me was running on performance, pride, and what I could prove. And that version of me was running to a place I didn't want to arrive. The breaking wasn't punishment, it was redirection. It was God saying, not that way, this way. There's more for you than that. I'm not the finished product, and I really want that to be clear. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, still waking up on days where I have to choose discipline over comfort and purpose over what's easy. But I'm chasing my dreams now, actively, every day. Not the way I used to, numb and directionless, but with something real underneath them. I'm getting back into my word. I'm getting back into the relationship with God. Not perfect, but genuine. And I know I'm not who I used to be. That matters more than what I can explain. If you're in the middle of your breaking season right now, I need you to hear this. What's falling apart isn't the end of your story. It may just be the beginning of what's real. So, God doesn't waste the breaking. He works in it. So, just stay.